On behalf of the academic pharmacy section of FFP, it's a great privilege to welcome you all for this wonderful digital event, harnessing artificial intelligence for transforming pharmacy education and research opportunities and challenges. As you all know, artificial intelligence reshapes the entire cascade of healthcare, IT, and all streams together. So today, it's a great time to discuss about how we can incorporate it into pharmacy education and how we are going to use it for the future. And it is wonderful to have a brilliant panelist amongst us. So it's my great privilege to introduce the chair of the session for today, Mr. Jayapal Reddy Thumma. He is the chairman of St. Peter's Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences and the national director for Indian Association of Colleges of Pharmacy. I've had great access to him over the last 5 years, but beyond that, he's someone who spoke about technology, who spoke about the way technology can influence the pharmacy education. Very long back, more than a decade back, he was into that. He was talking about that. So he is the adequate person, apt person for this wonderful session, and it's a privilege to welcome you, sir. And hope you take care of the session. Thank you.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, yes, please. Please.
Very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I take this privilege for this FIP digital event. I really appreciate the FIP for bringing this kind of wonderful program. So today we are going to talk about harnessing AI for transforming pharmacy education, research, and opportunities and challenges. So today we have four panelists in our group. Dr. Praveen Devanandam is going to speak. Dr. Sridhar Reddy and Arjanam Mastrovic. All these, we all four together, we are going to take to a little journey about harnessing AI and its the present ongoing thing that's going to happen in pharmacy field. So, as you know, that artificial intelligence is significantly which reduces human workload, improving precision and shortening the timelines. That is a major advantage of this artificial intelligence, and it has a potential to foster innovation, enhance efficiency, and improve patient outcomes. So that is the ultimate thing what we are looking as a pharmacist here. And it also we are also embracing artificial intelligence in pharmacy schools, which can prepare the future pharmacists for the technology-driven healthcare. So most of the institutions, pharmacy institutions, or schools, or universities, or as a pharmacist who are working pharmacists, I think every organization is bringing up the training about AI, how to use it, or even to certain extent in the pharmacy schools, even they're training the young students of pharmacy to learn some algorithms, how to build the AI from the data and other things. So in this environment, and to equip them with the skills to leverage artificial intelligence in their practice. So to talk about the impact of uh, this particular artificial intelligence, it is very fast in the new drug development. That's the most important thing. I think in the next panel discussion is going to speak about even the clinical trials that are going to be optimized in the entire recruitment of the clients and the analysis of that particular the total data. And it has a better dosing and tracking of a patient with a medication management, because ultimately these artificial intelligence tools will really help any pharmacist sitting at their in the community pharmacy or any kind of setup. When they feed the data, I think they are going to get very clear dose of plus or minus 5% as per the last 1 year back data. But today, we can really avoid the errors when we use this particular tool. And this can also help to every patient to have a tailor-made. So when we talk about this particular episode to talk about the patient care, I think I can say uh, how to build a data for a young pharmacist or a young student who is really honoring for himself to grow in the capacity where he want to really build his own capability and capacity in the artificial intelligence. It's only just one thing. I think every student, I think a group of 20 students can um, come together. Everyone can take one particular organ like pulmonology or oncology or cardiology or nephrology or any GI tract or any part of the body. I think everyone has to really get into deep science. So first you have to identify one, for example, lungs and pulmonology. If you take it, so you have to identify the number of diseases that are being reported globally. It can be 100, 200, or 300. We don't know. So again, you should find out the root cause. For that particular root cause, you should know on what diagnostic analysis this and patient profile you are able to really identify that with the help of pain management, you are able to identify root causes one, two, or three, or four. We don't know. And for every root cause, already there's a particular molecule already which has been approved globally. So those molecules you need to identify what is the drug mechanism and who is the innovator. So when you read the general article, the published paper, I think you can go and really find out what is the crux of the story, how that particular drug is really uh, acting towards the damaged cell, and how it is able to really rectify. So after that, in the process, you will also knowing what are the pharmacokinetical studies, on basing on that, what are the toxical studies, and what are the statistical tools. So with all these kind of tools, I think really you can build the scientific calculations of a patient depending on the diagnostic report, profile of the patient, and his previous diseases or whatever it has been reported, and the present state of the patient depending on the diagnostic report. When you feed all the data, I think we are going to really design a drug for any given patient. So pharmacist's role is only one thing is where we need to design a drug for any given patient. So once you uh, take out all two, 300 different diseases globally, and you find out all the different root causes, diagnostic report values. If the normal value is 100 to 200, assume that's a normal. If it's 120 to 140, what happens? 140 to 160, what happens? If it's below 80 or below 60, so you need to write each and every point of what changes that particular patient is getting. If this particular diagnostic report values are much higher, along with other diagnostic values, I think what the patient is getting. So if you can build the entire information, the entire data, and all 20 students coming with a different diseases, different root causes, different interventions, all these, if you can really make it together, I think you have a lot of vast data with help of coding and some algorithms. If you can take the technical, today it's not a rocket science. So learning algorithms is just a couple of months or maximum 6 months where you can really train for yourself, and you can bring all the data and you can feed everything when the diagnostic report is saying this, when patient is coming with this, or patient profile, health, age, all parameters when you are feeding, you can build your own information into that. And if you keep on adding the different parameters, I think you yourself can really design a drug for any given patient with the help of data, because data you're not getting by your own alone, but it's an enormous data which is coming globally. I think even 20 people can coming together and one or two people doing one work on one disease. I think you people can build your own business model with the help of AI tools, and where you can give a right medication for the patient. So there's no ADRs. Even when you feed something, even your system is going to tell, AI is going to tell, okay, these parameters are getting a different value and different patterns. So all these kind of things, I think every student, every pharmacist really know the basics of it. It's not a rocket science. It's only a data where you need to conceal everything, and you have to really build a model with the algorithms. So when we talk about efficiency and innovations, it has got a very improved outflows and decision making, and artificial intelligence in the healthcare drives. You know that it can enhances our innovation, and it reduces the cost, it reduces the time, and it can give the better dosing values. And it's also really helpful for the regulators and the pharma industry with the help of the technology developers. It can be a pharma tech developers, or it can be solely, but there your team really need to build. But if you have your own pharma developer who knows every algorithms and the coding, I think that's the best thing where you can collaborate and really you can design yourself. So it is a standardized artificial intelligence frameworks which ensures fairness, reliability, and compliance. So ultimately, what we look at is at the patient. Ultimately, whatever we are all working is on towards the patient, nothing else. So for patient, as a pharmacist, you are the savior. We are the saviors for the pharmacists. So you are the person where you need to see, ensure that we are going to give the fairness of ensuring the perfect compliance for delivering a particular drug to any given patient. So, very common jargons what we encode in the field of artificial intelligence is all neural networks. It's all being developed by the human brain itself. Artificial intelligence has not come from anywhere from other planet. It's all we people developed. We made with the help of data. We developed the coding, and with our brain only we are able to bring all the algorithms together. So this what it does is it goes into the very deep learning. It's a subset of all machine learning, again utilizing all neural networks and multiple layers of complex tasks. And as I said, big data is nothing but it's a very large and complex data set that is available globally. Okay, whatever that available globally as per the DNA, you name it, any parameter you take it, artificial intelligence can really bring into that. And one more important thing is regarding the learning experiences. I think we can say personalized learning, where artificial algorithms can analyze student learning styles and progress, tailoring coursework and learning materials to individual needs. Here, I think today we need to be very cautious. We have challenges. That challenge is generally AI is going to really identify a pattern of learning material, and we need to really be specific to ensure what are the buzzing words where we need to really identify, and we can really put all those words. I think your AI is going to give you the very I can say 99.99% of very perfect analysis of what you desired kind of learning or visuals or any kind of expectation that you are really looking at. And AI is very powered with simulations. I think today, globally, I think very short, I think every student or every pharmacist across the globe, it's all about where we are going to see the virtual kind of thing. We are going to see the patient as a virtual, doctor as a virtual, the robotics as a virtual, even the classrooms are going to be virtual. Experimental studies will be virtual, where one person sitting at one or in five continents, people will be sitting at different places, and we can really do this as a kind of simulations where it can be really, this AI is going to make us so advanced, so we can really learn about all these things. As you know, and it's very helpful in the interactive learning platforms. And this is very much for the student where he can sit at his desktop and he can get whatever the desired levels, including his question and answer sessions. So when we talk about advancing research and drug development and training, I think it all depends upon the real-time data analysis. So AI tools can provide real-time analysis of drug interactions, pharmacokinetics, and kinetical studies I was just talking about. And this also helps students to understand the complexity of the drug development. I think at every level, I think it can really take you the right path. So it has got a predictive modeling which predict the therapeutic responses and identifying the trends in large data sets, accelerating drug discovery and improving treatment personalization. That's what today and tomorrow all across the globe everyone is looking at. And regarding the clinical decision support for medicine management, patient safety, and optimizing treatment plans. And AI is driven tools for medication adherence, which can be used to track medication adherence, and with even we can monitor the patient, because today we have large tools which are being submerged, what call it, where they're attached to the body or attached to the watches or to the rings or whatever it is. I think AI can detect how the patient is taking, what is the kind of food he's taking, what time the patient is taking the medication, and every it is going to really check. AI is going to give the very conclusive data, and even the pharmacist sitting at his place, even he can parallelly he can also monitor more than 100 to 200 patients, and it can give the signaling that this particular patient has missed something, where AI is going to send the signal to back to him. So that way, I think AI is going to really bring the best to the patient. And predictive modeling for the adverse events is that's what I'm telling. So this is a very most important when it comes to the patient aspect, and when it comes to the compliance with respect to the pharmacist, where he can deliver the right medication so that there's no adverse event that are happening. And regarding the integration of pharmacy data and science and healthcare, I think AI fosters collaboration between different disciplines, broadening career opportunity for pharmacy graduates. I think this is the era where every student, every pharmacist should really adapt to the latest technologies, latest developmental tools, latest gadgets that are going to, I think, in the next 5 years, you are going to see change the entire healthcare system. And I really appreciate for this particular thing. And now I request Dr. Sridhar to take up the next session, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your session. Before Dr. Sridhar's session, I would like to introduce Dr. Sridhar today. Dr. Sridhar is the Vice President of Global Patient Safety and Clinical Affairs at Amneal Pharmaceuticals. Also, he has more than 25 years of experience in the pharmaceutical technology side. And presently, he is working with AI tools on clinical research and pharmacovigilance at Boston University. It's wonderful to have you, Dr. Sridhar. Please start your session. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, it is really very privileged to see the global pharmaceutical professional at one platform and various distinguished guests across the globe. And yeah, saying because in this short duration, I would like to today we will be taking through the various applications, means practical applications that currently being used with artificial intelligence in drug discovery and development. So, as most of you are already aware that the traditional drug development process is often time consuming as well as expensive and thought to uncertainty means a lot of uncertainty, but this new means digital disruption with artificial intelligence, we can analyze massive data sets as Dr. Jayapal already has given the complete jargons and what will be used on the various things. It is very easy to go into the content, mainly how in the AI can analyze the large data sets as well as the predictive biological interactions and even design new drug molecules with more present means speed and velocity with which the human means the regulations are required. So here means I would like to take in this presentation the AI being applied across various different stages of the drug development and pipeline and the various technologies or the various tools that we use for various types of activities or the various type of activities that will be used in the drug development process. The pharmaceutical industry at this point has a big threshold on this transformation era, and which is driven by multiple things, various. And here one should understand that AI is not merely an auxiliary tool, but a disruptive force that promises the redefine the complete pharmaceutical industry foundations and harness the vast complex data sets across genomics, chemistry, and the my specialization is that the clinical sciences, and AI even accelerates the identification of lead molecule, the potential promising drug candidate, predicting the therapeutic outcomes, and optimizing clinical trial design with unparalleled speed and accuracy. Accuracy is one most important. So overall, this paradigm shift is an enabling more to reduce the timelines and cost in the R&D, and also to improve the success rates and deliver more targeted, means now we are more moving into patient centric therapies, and which so so overallly the AI is not the future, it is the present that we are currently working. Saying this, I'll take sorry this one. So just a disclaimer that this is mostly my personal experiences when I'm working with the AI tools in the various industry activities, my domain patient safety as well as clinical development activities, and nothing related to my organization or my university related things. So the AI, most of you already aware that the artificial intelligence, it is not artificial intelligence, I term it as intelligence which assists the human intelligence. So it is means completely an ability of machines to perform the tasks that typically require the human intelligence, such as learning, reasoning, perceptions, and the decision making. So here, if you see the right hand side, the various softwares that we use for the uh, in the AI, for the some with the brain inspired artificial intelligence projects. These are the softwares, chatbots, many of you all know, and the most frequently used natural language process and artificial intelligence, and the predictive analytic is more important from market, from pharmaceutical industry, and the disease trends, and the neural network which already Dr. Jayapal has introduced, data mining, and so these are the various platforms that been used. So mainly I want to give the audience one critical thing based on this. So if you see any statistical analysis based on the data sets, we will use the statistical analysis. So qualitative data, we have to use one type of statistical data. For qualitative data, we have to use other type of strategy. Similarly, based on the type of model that we want to develop, either it is a process automation, or it is an interaction between the two systems, or a reasoning type of. So based on that, the various tools that are being used in the AI. So if I would say the first one, the process automation, when we want to automate, though the RPA and IPA are the two things which are the tools that we are using to make it more appropriate. So in this process, where robotic process automation, the automatic repetitive and the predictive task will be used to make it more simple and decision making. And whereas for the IPA, intelligent process automation, we use non-routine tasks and to give the trend and make the decision making and problem solving. Whereas interaction between the two systems, here the most commonly used the communicative centrics are NLPs and NLGs. So whenever we have to analyze a text or any voice, which will gather the information and make it to a complex problem into a value addition and a informed decision. That is where you use NLPs. And whereas NLGs, where we use the text and voice generative, and that knowledge sharing we use as the communicative things, like any healthcare analysis which can be communicated through some databases, some other tools. So this is the common languages that we used, which is automated. And whereas the third most important one, reasoning type of to recognize the patterns and to prescriptive or any predictive analysis, we use machine learning. And whereas for the true artificial intelligence, where we use the self-learning activities, which most of you are some of the tools already been market used, because all this is in present. We are learning and we are implementing in the same time the tools in the artificial intelligence also, how we feed based on that it self-learns and automates as per the requirement. So these are the fundamental things that we use for based on the requirement on the various drug development process, or in any other case. So these are the basic tools that we use. And one more thing, where is a AI agent, which is more which I have not enumerated here, but which is very useful and more user friendly to derive whatever the way one idea can be streamlined and it can be materialized. So these are the following tools which one can focus on based on the ideas in the pharmaceutical area, and we can develop this. So, and in overall healthcare, the applications from the can be classified into two types, where I feel that it is the opportunities and the data modalities. When it comes to data modalities, were various microborne or variable biosensors and ambient sensors, the environmental related these. Whereas opportunities on the precision health, where the digital clinical trials, and also on the hospital based, the EHRs and the pandemic surveillance and any other things that can be used with the AI. So in the recent years post pandemic, so more aspects have been means data with these type of tools has been captured for the surveillance and for a more informed better. So these are the fun. So coming to the practical approach in the discovery, as most of you are already aware that the drug discovery process, where serendipity, the high throughput screening, where the lead molecules were identified, and from that, if most of you remember the funnel shaped diagram, where most of the molecules 10,000, from which we have to struggle a lot from the drug discovery to find the most promising lead molecule. Whereas AIs can help to analyze large amount of data and generate insights that can inform the drug discovery process, such as predicting the efficacy of the product or the safety aspects of the complete predictive analysis of one promising or the potential candidate, and also identifying the target delivery systems. So that is also one of the things. And the other most important is designing the clinical trial as per the um, therapeutic effects, as well as the mode of action and the delivery targets. So based on that, which can be more easily be derived and more efficient and more effective. Saying this, so every molecule, as we have seen, that will have a process that is where it has a pharmacophoric group and one is toxicophoric. So where because of the toxicophoric group, conventionally the all the means where we are receiving the adverse events. So with the help of the AI tools which we are describing now, where we can directly eliminate the toxicophoric group of every molecule, and what can be added for this SAR, structure activity relationship of the pharmacophoric group, to enhance its efficacy and to enhance its potency, where the more promising, more safer, and without any adverse event, a molecule can be designed and can be given to the more personalized medicines. And in which the most commonly used AI tools are machine learning, deep learning, and natural language process and computer vision. So Agento is also one of the things. So when we have this algorithm by machine learning, which will analyze the most complex data sets, identify the patterns and the relationship that may not be apparent to the humans, but in this to identify more potential drug candidates and predict their efficacy and toxicity. Yeah, similarly, for deep learning, where we can, the analysis of large data sets is common, whereas it can predict the 3D structure of the protein, means large molecules, large which can be optimized design and also given a novel drug delivery system. And whereas NLP, which is most commonly used AI tools, which can extract more unstructured data sources, any scientific literature, any legacy data, or patients, hospital records, or clinical trial data. And this NLP is used to identify the pattern, trend, and the more potential targets with efficacy and toxicity, and also analyze adverse events with a potential SAR. So those type of things can be also derived. And whereas computer vision is used to analyze images and videos, which is different from the previous tools, to identify pattern and relationship. In drug discovery, this computer vision is used to analyze as we discussed, the high throughput data and the potential drug molecule, which predict the most efficacious and effective molecules for the human race. And I'm giving some examples. I'm just not commercializing this, just for the information that beyond this, there are multiple. When in Boston, we have seen many projects that we are working on, where many other. So these are the few which are successful, and they have come out with some related molecules, and some of them are already approved by the FDA. Hence, I have listed for awareness session, where the Autumnwise is one such company which uses AI-powered visual screening to identify potential candidates, and this 3D structure algorithm analysis of proteins and predicts how different molecules will bind to the proteins, and allowing means what the high accuracy rate of their efficacy will be there. Whereas in silico medicine is the other company, where which means the AI powered drug discovery that they are doing is to identify potential candidates. Their algorithms analyze large data set are discussed, including the, and they are successful in developing this. And benevolent AI is also one such similar thing, where they are focusing on the various range of diseases, means mainly orphan diseases, also some of the things that they have developed. And the large amount of data that they means obtain it from various sources, they are clubbing together and getting it in a positive therapeutic outcome of the molecules. And the recursion pharmaceuticals is one that which again has similarly what we have computer vision they are using, and they are analyzing this for development and large molecules, proteinomics, and for the tissue to for potential targets and optimize. So these are the successful, as I just mentioned. In they have developed for means in silico medicine has developed for IPF, a promising drug molecule, idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, and they call it as CREMA. And this drug molecule has really given more effective data in preclinical studies, and now in the clinical also, and recently been delivered at the FDA, US FDA. And this is the first known example of AI designed drug candidate entering into the clinical section. Whereas Autumnwise is all that what we have discussed. This is also has as we discussed, they are working on various range of diseases, including cancers and Ebola. And in they have identified two potential candidates for the Ebola using this AI platform, and which are more effective in preclinical studies as well as in the clinical, because now the data is available in the clinical. You can go to clinicaltrial.gov, and this data, these drug molecules are more prominent, effective in the metastatic cancers and prostate cancer. So these are the live examples which inspire us to focus on the other disease areas, and to develop any promising molecule which is used for or any other unmet medical needs of human, where we can focus and get developed using this AI based. So overallly, where I would like to say that in this short time, just I have want to give what is the basic and tools that we use and what is the market. There are multiple things where we use in clinical trials, we used in pharmacovigilance, and we are simplifying the literature. So all these aspects, when it comes to the market, global market survey, it is this is a great opportunity at present. It's not future, at present. And which is from means in this 5 years it is growing to fourfolds. So you can see the statistics that is mentioned. It is already in the market, and at the CAGR of 31.6%, which is too high compared to any other things. So the CAGR is compound annual growth rate. And so the potential of drug discovery and development from conventionally is completely transforming into a new era with more promising molecules and which will be more useful for human well-being. And Orally, in a conclusion, this assisted intelligence will help to identify potential issues with drugs for analyzing large data sets, mainly for preventing adverse events and better health records, and which can help the regulators, manufacturers, to and even the consumer for the most safer products. And also, this next Gen CT models leveraging the predictive analysis means we know that this specific class of drugs were eliciting this type of adverse event. When we have modified the pharmacophoric SAR, automatically it is giving the global real-time information with more effective and more safer for the human well-being medications. And so this overall as a means where we say the additional futuristic models like agento and will overcome the traditional ones, and which will make you more predictive and more work means more less workload or time saving and cost saving, and which will be better product launches and strategic measures. So this is the primary where we want to give just a gist of what's been currently been already been working in the industry. And one can explore more on this based on the therapeutic area, personalized medicine, because now we are moving to more personal, because one treatment may not be fit to everyone. We have to more case studies on this. So saying this in this short period, I want to just give this nutshell, and rest we will discuss. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to interact with the global pharmaceutical professionals.
So I
You,
think
you
you're
are
on.
on mute, sir.
Uh, Thank you, Sridhar, for a wonderful session. Again, we'll come back to the panel and the question answer session. Now, I request Dr. Praveen Devanandan, who is an assistant professor at St. Peter's Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences and very active in Indian Pharmaceutical Association. He's also for Seer Form is a uh, advisory member. So he has very beautiful standing in academic and teaching, learning, clinical, patient side. I think he's a person who is really involving into day-to-day activities using all these kind of technologies. So, and I request Praveen to take up the session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your wonderful introduction, sir. So let me just share the screen and start with this session. So, greetings everyone. Today, as we are discussing about harnessing AI for transforming clinical pharmacy education and research, it's a wonderful opportunity. I should actually thank the chair, Mr. Jayapal Reddy sir, my chairman as well, and the other panelists, Professor Arinola, the chair for Research and Scholarship Working Group of Academic Pharmacy Section, and all members of the Academic Pharmacy Section too. President Professor Toyin Tafade, Vice President is here, Ariana is here. So thank you everyone for giving us this opportunity to discuss about artificial intelligence and how it is transforming the education and research aspects of clinical pharmacy. So while I was preparing this particular PowerPoint presentation, one thing I felt is that we are one lucky generation. See, we were in a time when there was no AI, and we can see the translational shift that AI is actually doing to our day-to-day life. So in that aspect, we are very much lucky and very much gifted too. Why do we need why clinical pharmacy needs artificial intelligence? Imagine when I started my career as an academic pharmacist, uh, uh, as well as a clinical pharmacist. I was when we go to a hospital setup, we get patient data. For example, there was one particular case which was stayed with me for a longer period. I had a patient who is diabetic, who went into sepsis, prolactin levels were very high, LDH levels were very high, and the patient is also known case of AKI, acute kidney injury too. So that time, what was the thing that as pharmacist I was supposed to do? I need to go through each and every guidelines, ADA guidelines for diabetes, NICE guidelines for sepsis, each and every guideline, the 70, 80 page document I need to go through. I should come up with a treatment plan. Then even if I finalize that vancomycin is the drug I'm going to choose, although AKI is there, I need caution there. I need to do a dose for that particular patient. It took me huge amount of time. It took me a lot of time to finalize the what is the exact dosing that is needed. Now let's move on to now. Now we have a lot of softwares like DoseMe RX, lot of other Bayesian method softwares, AI related software, which if I enter all my patient data, including clinical notes and imagery, it gives me a set of options where from which I can choose what kind of dose that can be given. It has reduced my time greatly than what it has took me for a large amount of time. It has been reduced greatly. So that help that artificial intelligence can do to our career, it can be in any aspect. So in a regular day-to-day time, we come up with a lot of problems in clinical setup. We come up with patients who are on polypharmacy, receiving multiple drug regimens, as we are talking, multiple comorbidities, aging population, and there are too much data that we are having these days. As my previous speakers were talking about big data too, too much electronic health records are there, real world data is there. So to concise everything, to give a solution in a very short frame of time, this artificial intelligence actually helps us. So to enhance clinical decision support, to enhance for precision dosing, and to predict about the adverse drug events. So this is one of the best choices that we have. Now imagine a pharmacist who is working in an intensive care unit or casualty. For each particular patient, on an average, they may have to go across 10 to 12 guidelines before making a clinical decision. But now, with software, with the advancement of artificial intelligence, the time, the data to evidence to back up that our solutions are more. So that is how the artificial intelligence can power us. When it comes to pharmacy education, what we can do as a educator, I'm an academic pharmacist as well, and most of us are academic pharmacists. So what we can do as an educator, this artificial intelligence actually greatly reduces our time, greatly reduces our functioning, what do you call, the time we take it for assessments, time we use for developing our rubrics, all this time and all decision making strategies are streamlined. So if I need to go for a case study, an OSCE session, I can ask any platform to give me simulated cases, which I can put forward to my students. They can perform studies. I can assess that at any given time. I need not come to my institution to sit and see. I can assess that at any time. So these kind of things can be enhancing the education sector as well. So it's not just only transforming the practice side, but it comes towards the education too. And these kind of adaptive learning platform, for example, Osmosis or AI tutors, are going to increase the learning pace of the students too, as many of the country are moving towards self-learning for the students. In India too, we have this national education policy which talks about self-learning. This is very much essential when we provide them with the necessary tools that can help them understand, that can help them work on this algorithm, that can help them logic or clinically logic out a situation. So that's what AI can do to us. So many universities have come up and have been doing good. Monash University, for one sake, they have done pharmacokinetic modules, which has worked out really well. And one other thing that I would like to reiterate here is during the last Congress, we had a good opportunity to be evaluated for poster. We have come across a lot of posters where the work right now is on artificial intelligence, gamification in teaching, gamification in learning, gamification for outcome-based clinical examinations, or a simulated environment for clinical examination. That kind of rubrics development and furthermore innovation in teaching has been done with the help of this artificial intelligence. Now, as an academic, if you think, do you think is it easier for students to go through textbook memorized drugs, or do you think the patients, sorry, the students will learn it in a virtual reality kind of environment where they practice about the real life scenarios on a regular basis before getting into the clinical setup? So in that way, this artificial intelligence is working out well in clinical pharmacy education as well. Many countries have started adopting it, and few countries are in the process. But I'm sure in about half a decade, almost everyone will start depending upon artificial intelligence tool in terms of education too. Then coming on to clinical research, when there are a huge number of guidelines even for clinical research to do, and right from site selection till patient matching, whether this patient is adequate. Now you ask any uh, personnel who is working in clinical research about the patient dropout ratios, patient dropout problems they face when a patient drops out, and how they are going to match the samples, from where they are going to match the sample. This used to be a bigger thing. Now there are lots of tools like, for example, let's take IBM Watson Health. They predict about the patient dropout as well. They predict about when deprescribing can be done. So these enhances our role. We can also take a judgment faster. Our judgment is getting backed by evidence. In broader sense, we are being powered by artificial intelligence. So the question should always be no longer what if this could have been done, what if that could have been done. But here we are going to a situation where we are faster, deeper, and more precise. The precision is always required because the errors, the medication errors that can drug-related problems that can actually affect the volume of patients that come because of a drug-related problem. All these things can, in a way, can be phased out or can be minimal when we use technology. As my previous speaker was talking about natural language processing for literature reviews and meta-analysis, even as a researcher, if I need to write a meta-analysis, my search strategy, my PCOs have started getting easier, simpler, and I'm able to sort out which are my studies which I'm going to use for my meta-analysis. This work has been consistently better in the real life scenarios too. So as a clinical pharmacist, what kind of tools that we have? We need some tools that helps us about drug-drug interaction, because as we were discussing about polypharmacy or comorbidities, we get patients who are on multiple drug therapy. So instead of going through the various medication information resources, a tool that can help enhance us, that can tell us these are the potential, then maybe we can cross verify, because we are not in 100% state where completely AI can replace the literature that are available, but still we can cross verify. Our search strategy can be focused towards that rather than a broad search strategy and coming to there. A lot of tools that are working on that, DDI, PharmGKB. In fact, uses genomic data also to predict about drug information. Then AI dosing tools like DoseMeRx. All these things can help us to get better patient outcome, as all of us work only towards that goal, to ensure that we are having a better patient outcome. There are no complications towards the patient. So this helps us. And furthermore, there are a lot of chatbots that are being developed, and this chatbots helps us about tracking the patient's medication adherence, tracking about counseling the patient, and letting us know in our time, rather than traveling to a particular place, letting us know in our time what the patient is feeling, what kind of information does that patient require. So in that way, we have these tools that can enhance the way we give our services as clinical pharmacists. But all said and done, there are challenges, there are ethical dilemmas that comes to us. There are certain studies also where there are bias by the algorithms that have been developed. There is one particular study where dose dependent data has been done. So it's always that we need to care about algorithm. There is a risk of deskilling. So, and there is still some resistance that we face from the clinical sector also. Generally, if we ask any patient whether they will trust an algorithm in the algorithm that has never treated a patient, to trust it blindly, they won't. They will always go to an expert who has had hands-on experience. So in a way, if we are equipped with artificial intelligence, we can be a better hands-on expert. That's what AI can do to us. So how we can prepare for the future? What is our roadmap for the future? We have to start upskilling the faculty on training on artificial intelligence. There was a beautiful quote I read about from an educationalist about how much curriculum advancements that we are doing. If our curriculum is not getting developed every 3 years or 4 years, we are stagnant. We have not progressed. The curriculum should grow. That's why in regions like us, the academic autonomy actually gives a scope to develop curriculum, to enhance the curriculum towards inclusion of all relevant novel topics. Now, most of the universities in United States, in Europe, in Malaysia, in fact in India, too started adopting artificial intelligence as a part of their curriculum. The NLP trainers are coming, training about developing an algorithm. These kind of things have started involving in the curriculum in the recent days. If this goes on, then we are in a very great direction in the future too. Then we have to start working on interdisciplinary curriculum, talk about research, funding for artificial intelligence enabled studies. And in fact, since I was also part of the working group of research and scholarship, recently we had a grant from Academic Farm Section and the FIP Foundation on using artificial intelligence for teaching learning. So there are scopes that are being done, and FIP organizations like FIP is supporting that. So as academic pharmacists, as people who are involved in utilizing the software, we should make sure that we are utilizing this. Then the industry academic partnerships, that is what will get us further in the future. Like there are studies done by University of Helsinki, Roche, all these things that can help us progress further, and that could be the future roadmap for us in terms of integrating artificial intelligence towards us. And my final takeaway message for today's session is we need to have a good capacity building, and we should be the leaders of integrating artificial intelligence. I saw one of the questions in question and answer whether AI will replace the pharmacist. The answer is AI can never replace, AI is not going to replace us. But there is a possibility that AI will replace pharmacists who are not trained in AI. So that possibility can be there. So we should get enhanced, we should get trained with artificial intelligence, we should be upskilled towards utilizing softwares, tools on AI, and we can never be replaced. We can be empowered. That empowerment will make us give better patient outcomes. That is ultimately our goal. I once again thank everyone for the opportunity. The chair of the session, Mr. Jayapal Reddy sir, my chairman, and all the panelists and the entire academic farm section too for giving me this opportunity to discuss about this. Thank you. Also, as we completed the session, we will head
Yeah.
on to the panel discussion. I request the chair, Mr. Jayapal Reddy sir, to take over the session. I would like to introduce
Yeah.
our panelist, Ariana Mestrovic, as well. She is the Director of Pharmaceutical Services from Croatia. We have known her I have known her personally for the last 2 years, and I told this word in January also. She's a superhuman being in terms of the way that she carries out the work. She's always busy. Just now, she was in another meeting. She was taking care of 2 to 3 meetings in a particular day and came here to talk about this. So, thank you, Ariana. Thank you for being here, and keep being you. You're doing a wonderful work.
Thank you
Over to
for
you,
the
sir.
kind introduction and your invitation. Thanks very much.
Yeah, I really thank all the speakers for bringing up some new ideas and concepts in AI. And now my first panel member is Dr. Arijana Mastrik. How do you see this artificial intelligence will be impacting next generation pharmacists in day-to-day life at community pharmacy setups?
Thank you for this question, and I want to congratulate all three speakers for your wonderful presentations. I think I can relate mostly on the pharmacy practice and pharmacy education. Those are my areas. First, I've noticed that many people are using artificial intelligence as a tool to gather the information. This is if we're talking about like AI assistants or GPT boxes or things like that. But we should not use it as a Google, like put the term in and then try to see what the artificial intelligence is going to tell us. I think we should learn to teach artificial intelligence to gather the data for us and make the fact sheet for us to make our own conclusions. That would save us lots of time. Let's say potential interactions in a drug therapy or potential contraindication if the lady is pregnant, or pharmacovigilance reports if we are doing the presentation. But then we come here with the conclusions from our own knowledge, experience, attitudes, and values. And this is what we call blended approach. Therefore, Praveen was right to say AI will never replace us, but not in interpretation, because we need to add that value. And this is what would I encourage everyone to start using artificial intelligence and teach artificial intelligence things from the pharmacy practice and education. Otherwise, you're not able to use it. So this is one thing. Another thing is if we turn artificial intelligence into the robotical or artificial assistants, for example, in pharmacy. I was just having one session last fall in Croatia, and we were teaching artificial assistant in the pharmacy to speak with the patient. Let's say we have a husband and wife coming together in the pharmacy. There's only one pharmacist present. It's crowded. 10 more people are waiting for prescription fill. And then there is a lady who, the lady from that couple is receiving for the first time the medication for hypertension. And the gentleman is just having some back pain. So let's imagine that the pharmacist is receiving both of them, giving the first therapy for hypertension to the lady, and then while dealing with the gentleman with the back pain, invite artificial assistant to say, can you please give the instructions for nutrition to Our Lady? Because this is something which is already predetermined. It's kind of not so much individual, so it's more general. So, but there is a conversation going on, and the lady can ask the questions. In the same time, pharmacist can serve another patient, providing patient care. All these things could be helping pharmacists to realize.
Yes.
And I believe the people would like it. It's better than they come home and they try to find the answers themselves. And I can tell you that lady that we have programmed to give the advices was very clever. And she didn't say anything wrong. Then the next question that the lady was asking to her were about supplements, and she knew the facts really good. So, and then lady turned back to the pharmacy, to the pharmacist, and the pharmacist is making final recommendations and conclusions. So this is just an illustration how we can still use it, but don't lose our own authority and priority in presenting. Maybe if that makes sense for illustrating how it could be done in the future.
Thank you. I request Sridhar, this is a question for you. Would you trust a medicine developed by artificial intelligence? Why or why not?
Okay. Yeah. Yes, definitely. Personally, I would trust a medicine developer. Means why? Because of the following reasons, where we are analyzing the big data-driven precision and accuracy, where we are these large data sets will give proper data, and which can be analyzed beyond human capabilities. And the second one means to identify proper or better lead targets, and to very fewer false positive till now, and more personalized therapy, because you have the data, and we can directly analyze before a product is developed, and we can also the predictive complete efficacy, what is going to be the efficacy and what is the safety. So all this will means even reduce the timelines for development of a new better molecules. So these are the few things. However, where even the regulatory oversight through these tools will be also more rigorous for the human trials, and the regulatory approvals will obtain very faster. Means already system driven tools, FDA, EMA, or CDSU are already been used. Where what is the cautious in AI developed this thing is database. If we are using incomplete data, that can be lead to a false drug candidates, or there may be a missed side effects, or many models means which lack explainability of the complete scenario. That is also one which makes it hard to understand how decisions are made. So that is where, and the other most important one is uh, who will be responsible if something goes wrong, the
Yeah.
legal or ethical means of it. So this overall dependency on depends on human judgment, means human in the sense subject matter expert judgment. So the pharmacist, as a pharmacist, will be the subject matter expert who can collaborating this AI can enhance the significant drug development process more trustworthy, and more transparent or validated molecules for the betterment of human health.
Thank you. It's very clear. And one more, next question is for Dr. Praveen. What kind of AI tools available for therapeutic drug monitoring? I think many are asking about this.
Therapeutic drug monitoring, yes, as clinical pharmacist, therapeutic drug monitoring is one of the crucial areas because a lot of patients they need dose adjustments when it comes to narrow therapeutic index drugs, and that is where my example on vancomycin is also somewhat related to it required TDM model only. So tools like DoseMe RX is there, Insight RX is one other tool. There is Bayesian modeling tools are there. So these tools still require further what you call training, but these tools can enhance us, can reduce the time that we spend on calculation. That calculation part can be simplified with the help of these tools, and our time towards that can be simplified, and we can focus more on patient-related factors. So that's how these tools will enhance our role in hospital
Thank,
setting.
thank you. Actually, in the question and answer sessions, we have many questions. Some are overlapped. I think one of the questions was, are we going to be replaced with AI? All pharmacists are going to never. It's an additional technology. Already, Dr. Arjuna has really explained about this. It is going to be an additional tool where you are going to take a better decision and faster decision making. Okay, because after all, that is being developed by you, as she has explained. Are any ethical concerns of using AI in drug development and research? Can Sridhar just throw a light up for a minute? Just very brief. Ethical concerns.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely. As we discussed just now, that yes, definitely there are some ethical concerns which may potentially means give some like label uses or enhancement of the drugs means false positive application when incomplete data be used, or legally liable means developers means we have to ensure that the AI model is properly validated and proper data sets has been used. And yeah, means this is the only concept in the ethical.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely it will be an issue, but we have to be more cautious on this.
And regarding computer-aided drug designs, is AI is going to help them in the
Yes,
especially
yeah,
for the
yeah.
students who are in the
Computer-aided
research?
designs can give only what an human intelligence will see from the SAR or the designing part of it. But AI will help us. Really, that structure will give more means the or superior efficacy parameters, or more safer or less adverse events. So these type of things means computer-aided drug designing can be collaborated with the AI. Then we will have better molecules for the human health.
And the next one is about cybersecurity in the drug discovery. So many of the people were asking the similar questions.
Yeah, the buzzword cyber security of most of the things. But so anyway, so the many tools are there where the cloud based securities are also there. Means, now currently being managed, but definitely there will be some are the other issues that can be means overcome. So we will be means more focused on this developing in a proper molecule which is more promising, and these issues also will be there, cyber security and breachings. So this will eventually overcome as we more work on this research will go on, because it's started and it is going tremendously good.
I think one more question from Saurabh Sukla was about how dependent we are will be in AI. I think we are all discussing about this. Thank you for your questions. Sir, can you give about a B Pharmacy student what tools or applications we should learn for the future from present, from where to start, how to start? So that was questions by the students of pharmacy. I don't know, from Middle East.
Yeah. So basically the NLPs, NGP and IRPs. So these are the robotic process means how to process. Same like means what we have in SQL, PSQL, other Python. So same way, these are the tools which already we have discussed in the slide. So that will be useful for critical thinking and developing some molecule.
And there are some questions where some are asking, can we have a training through FIP for this kind of workshops on AI tools. I think Arjana will take a call in the coming days where
Yes,
you
we are
can take it.
listening. We are
Yeah.
listening to your needs, and thank you very much for expressing what you need. Academic pharmacy section that we most of us are belonging to are very dedicated to learn from you, but also to teach whatever is available in digital area.
Yes.
I think some of you might know that academic pharmacy section has organized digital literacy for educators as well, but it could be also for trainers or tutors or mentors or preceptors as well, or maybe pharmacy managers to start thinking in the digitalization and in digital way, which is definitely together with the artificial intelligence. If anyone is available to come to FIP Congress live, there is always a pre-Congress day dedicated to different areas of learning. This year on Saturday, we are going to have a digital event. I mean, it's going to be an event dedicated to digital literacy and digital health. So I'm definitely sure that artificial intelligence tools are going to be presented there. And this is something that we can all learn from each other. Also, following the future webinars here, like this one, you can also express yourself and tell us which specific tools would you like to learn more about. And this is easy for us to organize. Therefore, FIP is here to share the knowledge, to try to empower all the members. But also, if you are a member, for example, of academic pharmacy section, you can be part of those working groups which are more connected with the specific areas of teaching and education. So I think there are many
There are some questions on can they have sessions on biostatistical clinical trials, webinars on those things, and even some are asking about personalized patient, how to have to identify ADRs, those kind of sessions. And some are asking about what are the different kind of softwares and tools for pharmacovigilance. I really appreciate many of the students and pharmacists for asking these. Definitely, we'll be addressing all these issues in the coming webinars. We'll really present forward to the team. Arinola, I think she'll be looking into this. So our team can also really work. Even I really appreciate Toyn and our entire team, Arinola and team. Of course, our mentor Arjana Mastrik for making these things happen. Very vibrant. Uh, I think even in the chat box also, there are many questions. I think many are on the same, similar kind of questions where they were asking. All these things will be forwarded for the committee. I think committee will be looking into this. Committee will try their best to how to organize those events and they will be publishing. And definitely you can follow because FIP is for the young generation where they want to bring a lot of information and the concepts. And I really appreciate the entire team once again for the opportunity. Especially, I really thank Dr. Y. Sridhar Reddy. He's also from Boston AI, and Dr. Praveen. Of course, main mentor, Dr. Ariana, uh, for taking time and giving your knowledge, inputs for this particular FIP digital events. Thank you. Who's going to take it the next? Any other questions?
I would be maybe happy to add something about using artificial intelligence in interpretation of the data, because there are some questions in the chat box about it.
Yes.
For example, new GLP-1 agonists, which are very interesting and the popular, so to say, in our profession at the moment, are having SMPCs long between 100 and 120 pages, which is not even possible, I think, to read. But imagine then to combine with other SMPCs for example, if the patient has diabetes and obesity and dyslipidemia, it's almost impossible for a pharmacist anymore to combine all this data. So I think as much as we can use it to shorten our time of finding information, it's good. But also my experience with ChatGPT, for example, and I'm using the paid one. This is also a tip of advice for our young colleagues who are always keen to do everything what's for free, which does not always mean it's a high top quality. So be careful, maybe a few dollars or euros will make you more happy with the answers. But what I've learned, if I asking the question as a general person, I got very low quality of answers. But if I say, hey, come on, I'm a pharmacist and I'm a teacher, I want to know it in a little bit, high quality way, then ChatGPT is apologizing and putting things in a different way. And then if I say, can you please give me the references or sources of and he's then listing the resources that he's using or it's using, right, to make me convinced that those are true. So I think we should play more and more with artificial intelligence to provoke better understanding, but also more punctual data and punctual interpretation. This is just some tips and tricks from teacher in pharmacy who is sometimes using artificial intelligence. I don't know what are your experiences, colleagues. Maybe you can add
Yeah,
to.
you're right. Yeah, no, and also there are multiple job opportunities, which is one thing where in the manufacturing, also in the drug development, in clinical trial designers. So already the MNC pharma companies and AI-based biotech companies are recruiting pharma professionals with subject matter experts to develop this, means work with these tools to develop the proper yeah, any documents or any dossiers. So accordingly. So these opportunities are also there as per the Q&A session.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Thank you. I think Arnola, you're there. I think you can.
So we have one more question. How can artificial intelligence help in cancer therapy? I don't know if anyone would like to answer that one. I mean, cancer therapy is something that we are always learning more and more about. I think interpretation of the markers and the results of the therapy is very important. And with the new medication, with the new drugs, I'm sure. I mean, choosing the right drug in the right moment is an area that we can use artificial intelligence for. I don't know, Reddy, if you have any other thoughts about it.
Can you?
Yeah, so mainly when some of these AI-based biotechs are already because cancer is one such complex disease and same like other neurological diseases like multiple sclerosis and everything, where the means like prostate cancer, metastatic cancers. So these are already been worked upon and more precise molecules have been developed, AI-based molecules. So one can refer to that where they are coming with the disease specific and also the patient centric treatment options. It is not that one molecule developed by AI may fit for the every cancer patient. So where this has to be completely monitored and supervised by the subject matter expert from the pharma profession, and then it can be yield into a more effective outcome uh, result or better quality of life for a patient with cancer. Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, and really I thank all the speakers and the organizing committee for bringing up. Now I request Jonathan to.
Yes, so
Thank you.
I think Arinola she joined us, but we couldn't hear from her. So on behalf of the webinar committee, just to thank you so much for this wonderful session. The kind of questions were indicative of how attentive the participants were and how they enjoyed the session. And I really was impressed with the various arms that are available in pharmacy through AI, how we can improve pharmacy practice through education, through clinical practice, through research, and even drug development. So thank you so much for making your time today and for the very engaging session. I would want to announce to all participants that every month we try to host a webinar under the academic and pharmacy section of the FIP. And so we'll be advertising more events as much as you can. You try and join us and learn much from our experienced panelists and speakers. So thank you so much for making time for us today. And thank you, Arinola, for making time to join. I know your journey was stressful, but at least seeing your face is good enough. Thank you very much.